I just wanted to say before I start this one, this isn't as much of a tutorial as I would like. This is a really advanced technique. You're going to learn how to basically shape a piece of plastic to make a new peg that is broken. So with that said, let's get to repairing.
Bill Maru, Toy Mechanics.
What's going on, Crew Maru? Today we've got a broken Gomez Mezco ankle joint, and these are much like the Mezco wrist joints. This is unlike the older school Mezco joints that basically were just one piece, just as basically a solid barbell. This actually has a hinge in it. These are much better. I love these ankle joints. Unfortunately, this one broke, and we need to fix it. Another issue this one came with me, I didn't realize this until I just now kind of popped this piece out, but it's cracked right here. So I've got to show you what to do with that. You want to, basically I use a punch. So you want to kind of slide it down to reveal where the crack is at. You have to be careful so you don't split the whole thing. And then you want to take either, I've got this gel control, but I think I should use my JB Super Weld. Anyways, we want to press this down to reveal the crack in the seam here. And we're going to want to put this glue while that seam is open, kind of fill it in there. And then we're going to just lift this up here and let it close in on it. And now we got to wait a little bit to let this seal. Now, what else I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and attach this with glue, but that is not going to keep this thing in place, not for articulation. This thing is pretty mangled though, now that I look at it. So we got to find the right spot to glue it on. And the reason I'm going to glue it on is because we have to basically drill a piece into this, a screw piece, to get it to hang tight. So the issue that you run into a lot of times whenever these pieces twist off is it twists the plastic off. So I'm going to sand this down a little bit. Just a little bit to kind of get rid of the mangled plastic that was there before. And you can see this is the piece that broke. So we're going to sand this down a little bit as well, so we can get a nice flat fit. Basically, I'm just going to be doing this for reference. Kind of to see just how long this piece is. This is a real mess. When I quoted this client, I did not know it was this bad. This is real bad. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be about as close as we can get, I believe, to the original break, I guess. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is a weird peg. Like really weird. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna end up having to make a new one, but I need this for reference anyway, so I always do this whenever I have to make another one. It's nice to have a solid, semi-solid piece just so you know what you're working towards. It is really hard to do this with a camera in front of your face, I'm not gonna lie, so my apologies if some of this comes out kind of crappy. I will say the JB Super Weld's holding pretty well, so that's good. A lot of times I like to go around the edge a little bit with a little extra bit just to kind of keep it in place, really. So that's kind of getting there. I know it looks real wonky right now, but this is essentially what we're aiming for. So now I gotta see if I've got any kind of black pieces of plastic that'll work. So I did some digging and I found one of these old Figma joints here in my bin, and I split this apart and it's already got a hole here. So I might get really lucky and have to do minimal work on this. If this right here, you can see that it's just a little bit bigger. So what I'm gonna need to do is basically just sand this down to where it's more of the same size. All right, and then I like to keep my razor blade nearby, as always, just to kind of clean up some of this plastic that tends to hang off the side. Get a little split there. All right, that's good enough for now. So let's see if we can't, let's see if the size is right yet. Man, these are pretty small. I think we need to make it a little smaller. Okay, that's as small as I'm comfortable with right now. What we can do is attach this, and once we get it attached, then we can kind of shape it to where it's more of the spherical shape that we're going for. But this is looking pretty decent right now. Let's see if we can't, I want to just see if we can't get lucky and squeeze this with some pliers and see if it'll pop in. Make sure you get a good solid grip in between, like a, I don't know what I would call this, I don't know, basically a center grip, because you don't want to accidentally slip and snap one of these off. Let's see if this will work. That felt like a pretty solid pop right there. And you always want to twist it too. Just because it popped on there doesn't mean it won't twist and then, you know, come right off. This is looking not too shabby, honestly. Let's see if we can't cut some of this excess off. That might be, I'm not completely happy with the contact. It's a good pop. It's weird because you technically, if you flip this upside down and popped it on like that, it's gonna fit way better, but it's not gonna look as clean. I don't have the figure with me, so I'm not sure just how hidden this is gonna be. I guess it'd be pretty hidden. So what I like to do in this situation is we want to, you can see that it's like kind of, it's not rounded out the way we'd want it to. So let's bend this down to where we've got the end and it's rounded out. That's kind of one side. Then what you want to do is twist this thing around, and we're going to do it on the other side as well. And you'll notice with these have kind of like this kind of a crook in here. This is going to be pretty awesome though for the figure itself, because it's going to go in exactly how it's supposed to, and it actually is going to give it a little more range. So what we got here, this is the right foot is going to have a little more range than the left foot, which I think would be cool. But yeah, this is looking really good. I'm kind of surprised that it fits so well. Usually it takes me a lot longer. So now what we have to do is we have to shape our peg as well. And I realize that we're not going to be able to get it completely the same, but we should be able to get it enough to where it fits, stays in, and gives us all the great articulation that we want. Right now, I think this guy is way too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim it down a bit. All right, that kind of shortened it a little bit. And now what I want to do is I'm going to come in at angles, basically to give this more of a, basically a coned, so to speak, mushroom shape. And we'll do that now. So we've rounded that out. So that's going to make it easier to put this back in. And I couldn't help but notice whenever I was messing with this, as you can see, whenever I was saying mushroom shape, you've seen this, the peg heads, how these kind of have divots in them. I know it's really hard to see because it's so mangled, but there's a divot basically right here and another one right here, which I don't think we have to worry about both of those, but we totally can make that. And I can show you how to do one real quick. So what I did there was I went in at an angle and basically used the edge of my sanding bit as basically a cutting tool, and you just kind of slowly rotisserie this guy, literally like a chicken on a spigot. You want to rotate this evenly so you start getting this this divot inside. And I'll zoom in for you. You can see right there, see the divot? Kind of goes all the way around. And that's how you do that. And what that's for is for basically catching the peg so it won't just pull out whenever you're articulating it. I think I'm gonna give this a little more. And now we want to heat up the ankle and pop this in. Yeah, so we're gonna heat this up and we're gonna pop in the peg and see if it worked. Let's try to pop this guy in. It's a nice, very, very, very satisfying pop just now. We've got the movement to the left, we've got the movement to the right. Bend, bend. I don't have the figure with me, so I can't test it, and that bothers me. But you know, hopefully this gets back to the client and he says, yeah man, this is great, I love it. That's what we want. And as always, take care out there, and I'll keep repairing.
Bill Maru, Toy Mechanics.
So with that said, strap in, let's get to tutorial and analyzing. So with that said, let's get to fixing.